All right, gentlemen, our practice is 2 witnesses, 2 minutes.
Good morning. My name is John Lovell, and I'm with the California Police Chiefs Association and the California Narcotic Officers Association. This bill is moving at warp speed and making mistakes along the way. For example, there are assertions in these bills that, marijuana is really helpful for leukemia. And you see these regularly drafted by Ledge Counsel. Well, the Leukemia Society, which is not made up of Ledge Counsel drafters, but real doctors.
My bill does not include that finding.
I'm referring to, well, your analysis.
Excuse me,
of the bill.
excuse me, through the chair.
My bill, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, if the witness wants to talk about my bill, that's fine, but that's not in this bill.
All right, and if you just take your 2 minutes, and then we'll do any self-correction on the part of the author, all right?
What this bill does is enables, it gives legal legitimacy to medical marijuana dispensaries. First time that's happened. And these are, despite what has been said by others, a blight on neighborhoods. If it were any doubt about that, only look that 200 cities have chosen to abolish dispensaries, and not a city councilman has lost his job behind that. There's been discussion of the political momentum of Prop 215. Well, that momentum has stopped. Prop 19 was defeated by nearly 700,000 votes, even though the proponents outspent the opponents 10.5 to 1. The closing down of dispensaries in cities has been popular because the public recognizes that far from what was stated in Prop 215, this has become an absolute con job where anybody can get a marijuana card.
Thank you very much, sir. Next speaker, please. 2 minutes.
Mr. Chair, members, Aaron McGuire on behalf of the California State Sheriff's Association. We don't have a letter on file. We are opposed to this legislation, but we remain engaged with the author's office. We think there's some positive things in the bill in terms of not preempting the recent California Supreme Court decision, and so we're going to continue our discussions with the author's office. But for now, we remain opposed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next speaker, please.
Bishop Allen, CEO and President of International Faith-Based Coalition. Of course, we're against this bill in regards to most of the dispensaries are in the underserved community. We are grateful to Senator Steinberg for the work that he has done, especially with the mentally ill, in regards to his senatorship. We are awfully surprised that this might be his legacy in regards to regulating pot shops. We see a detriment in regards to where these pot shops are placed. When you take a close look, they're not in Land Park, they're not in high-profile areas. The underserved community, we suffer. Regulating pot shops, to us, it's the same way as trying to regulate the liquor stores. We have more liquor stores than we do grocery stores. And what's critical to us is that we're seeing, and what I'm getting ready to say is real, we're seeing that anyone can go in and get a marijuana card. Anyone, for a bad hair day, so I should have about 20. It's amazing. How can you regulate that which is unlawful? How can you regulate that which anybody can go in and get a
all right, sir, respectfully,
medical card?
I have to ask you to conclude. We'll have responses to your statements. Any other witnesses in opposition? Name and affiliation, please.
Yes, I'm Marvell Wilson, Elder Marvell Wilson. I'm the President of Operations at International Faith-Based Coalition. When I don't consider myself just anybody, but I am one of those who might be qualified to make a statement of how easy it is to acquire a marijuana card. I'm an ordained minister. I didn't have my collar on, but I had my spirit with me when I went in and initiated and got a card in 42 seconds.
Thank
42
you, sir.
seconds.
We're gonna address that, and I appreciate the point you made. I appreciate you both being here. We're very valuable members of the community. Senator, I don't see any other witnesses in opposition. Am I wrong? Senator, do you want to respond?
Yeah.
We do have a motion, and I do want to thank you very much. If there's any comments or questions, I think it's counterintuitive. We know that it's too easy to get a card. We know that there are bad actors abusing what was a very well-intended and actually a very productive Proposition 215 passed by the majority of the people. The challenges in courts have stayed up. So let's work together. Currently, there is a Supreme Court decision. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can live with it, that allows you to ban dispensaries in your areas. I'm looking at regulating commercial so that we can stop what you are witnessing. I do not doubt that you have witnessed this, and I'm not happy with those abuses. And that's where I believe the senator is also coming from. Whether or not you endorse the medical aspects of marijuana or not, it is the law. It has helped people, and I'm interested in patient rights, in regulating the commercial, as the senator is, and working with members of the community. And I think you're right. I think things like this oftentimes are placed in the poorer neighborhoods because people can get away with it. That is endemic on many, many issues, not just medical marijuana, and we should all be working on that too. So, saying that, Senator.
Thank you. If I may, Mr. Chairman, and you I think, said it well. Maybe I can put it in a slightly different way. The heartfelt opposition from my friends, the pastors, who are rightfully concerned about neighborhood blight. Mr. Lovell's opposition and concern about blight and about the law enforcement challenges here. Here's really the point, and it is counterintuitive. The blight and the abuse you rightfully complain about is occurring in the absence of state regulation. We do nothing. Excuse me. We do nothing. The very situation which you rightfully complain about continues. You cannot deny that the voters passed Prop 215 and said that they want to assure that people who have life-threatening illnesses have access to medicinal cannabis. The challenge for policymakers, which frankly we have avoided, and I don't think in an appropriate way for a lot of years now, is to regulate in this area so that there is a strict line drawn between the availability of marijuana for medicinal purposes and the kinds of abuses that you speak about. Nothing changes if we don't pass a bill. So, you know, I don't mind being attacked and impugned a little bit here, and my legacy will be just fine, thank you, sir. But it is about my empathy for people with epilepsy, with cancer, with life-threatening illnesses, where this drug helps people live longer. I'm not for legalization. I'm trying to draw the right line here. And so I would suggest respectfully that you take the posture that the Sheriff's Association took here a moment ago, which is oppose as is, still continued law enforcement concerns, but help me, help the very communities you talk about that I've proudly represented for years, draw that line in an effective and appropriate way. I urge you and I vote, and thank you.
Thank you very much. If we can have a roll call, please.
Amiano?
Aye.
Amiano, aye. Jones Sawyer? Aye. Jones Sawyer, aye. Mitchell? Aye. Mitchell, aye. Quirk?
Aye.
Quirk, aye. Skinner? Waldron?
Respectfully, no.
Waldron, no.
All right. Is the bill out? The bill is out. Thank you, Senator. I see next on my list is Senator Evans.
Good morning.
Good morning.